Welcome back, everybody, to the Herm Cet Show. We are rolling with another episode of undervalued players in the 2010s decades. This past week, we have dropped some names
Fire.
that you probably haven't heard about
Yeah.
and that you needed to hear about because you need, in a conversation with your friends, drop a random NBA player name. We're giving you that information,
Yeah.
and here we are. We're about to talk about some centers today. And I'm Ethan Seton, joined by your host, Nate Herman. Nate, how are you feeling today to talk about some centers?
I'm good. I'm pumped up. I got one in mind. I'm very ready to talk about. I'm sure you got a couple on your list you're pretty hyped up about as well. We love
Oh,
the big
sure,
men
sure.
here. We're big fans of big men. We're really traditional podcast here with the centers. Love
Absolutely.
centers. Yeah. I'll
We
just
like big men who have good footwork.
Yes, exactly. Traditional footwork is what we're looking for. I'll just rip
Yes.
us off. I'll start us off with my undervalued center of the decade. And this is a undervalued star center of the decade. And we're going to talk about Hassan Whiteside, Heat legend,
Legend.
much better than people remember. 10 seasons, two-time blocks champ, 2017 rebounding champ, 2016 all defense. For his career, 13 points, 11 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks a game. Ridiculous career stats. We look at his best season in 2017, 17 points per game, 14 rebounds per game, and 2 blocks per game. He was a monster. The season prior in 2016, he averaged 3.7 blocks per game, which is just an insane total for the season. He's fifth all time in Heat rebounding. He's third all time in Heat blocks, and both of those came in only 5 seasons with the Heat. Is one of the best short runs we've ever seen from a center. Was completely dominant as a defender and a rebounder, and was also super funny on Snapchat. Everybody loves Hassan Whiteside
Whoa!
Snapchat. He's that
You
guy.
stole it from
I
me.
ripped it from you before. I'm sure you have some quotes that I can give to you. But
Oh,
Hassan Whiteside, absolute Heat legend and one of the most undervalued centers of the decade easily.
I wanted to talk about Hassan Whiteside. I only follow one NBA player on Snapchat.
Yeah,
Hassan Whiteside was one of the first ever people I added on Snapchat because
yeah,
his Instagram videos that he had were just hilarious, and I said I need to get this guy on Snapchat.
yeah.
So I'm subscribed to him on Snapchat, and he just when he was with the Heat posted the most random things ever. Like I remember almost every single day, it was of that like stinking koi pond aquarium. He would just show everybody the fish, and
Yeah.
I was living for it. And I think one of my favorite Hassan Whiteside moments was in that interview when he was like, I'm just trying to get my NBA 2K rating up." After he was having like I think he had like 6 blocks or
Yeah,
something like that game.
yeah,
And you know what? Like what a legend. If I wanna hang out with an NBA player, I'd hang out with Hassan Whiteside. I forget what he did on the basketball court. What a dude! And I like that video of him running around the Heat locker room,
yeah.
just like in a really weird running form.
Look like a
And
horse in there.
yeah, random Hassan Whiteside moments, but we need to talk about.
Yeah, he's like the DJ Khaled of the NBA, is what he reminds me of. He's just saying random things all the time, and it's hilarious. But Hassan Whiteside, I just loved watching him. I think he has like 5 to 7 games of at least 10 blocks, which is absurd. It's actually ridiculous. I think his career high in blocks in a game is like 14, which how does that even happen? That's a ridiculous number. I don't know
You
how
turn
you
up
do
the
that.
sliders.
Yeah, he's got
You
all
turn
the
up the sliders,
sliders up
shot
on
block
2K.
sliders.
Yeah, Hassan Whiteside though is pretty easily my most underrated center of the 2010s.
It's a
Uh,
great pick.
but I'll throw it to you for your first guy.
Yeah, I want to talk about someone, you know, who we recently saw have one of the greatest playoffs in NBA history.
Mm,
And he's I don't think he's under contract right now, but he did get signed this past year.
yep.
I want to talk about Tristan Thompson.
Yeah.
A lot of you guys know Tristan Thompson as, you know, the dude that Khloe Kardashian used to hang out with. But I think of Tristan Thompson as the dude that fleeced Cleveland of $81 million in a 4-year contract. He stole from the Cleveland Cavaliers. He stole from the city of Cleveland. but he used to grab rebounds
Mm.
and used to have those elbows. He used to have the fundamentals. Grab a rebound and stick your elbows out.
Yeah.
And maybe the worst free throw shooting form in NBA history. But let me tell you something, that dude could throw down two-handed dunks like nobody's business. I've never seen Tristan Thompson throw down a one-handed dunk. It's only two hands.
Two hands for
Because
safety. That's what
he
2K
was
says.
two hands. He was Mr. Fundamental. You
Yeah.
know, some people talk about Hakeem Olajuwon as a fundamental big man. I talk about Tristan Thompson, two-handed legend.
Yeah, no, Tristan was cool. He was a pretty consistent double-double machine. It felt like he's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
give you 10 and 10 every night. And was like the Cavs starting center basically their entire second LeBron run. He was huge for what the Cavs were doing.
Talk about his most recent playoff performances.
Yeah, with the Lakers.
With the
Came
Lakers.
in and really gave good minutes. They were kind of short spurts, but good rebounding and defensive minutes that the team kind of needed. And he plays better when he's with LeBron James. Him
Yes,
and
he
LeBron,
does.
he might be the best duo LeBron has ever had. LeBron and Tristan
Forget about
Thompson,
Kyrie, Kevin Love,
Anthony
Dwight Wade.
Davis. Who cares?
It doesn't matter.
It's LeBron and Tristan Thompson all the way for the great pick and roll and the lobs. And Tristan Thompson out here just doing business, getting to work in the post, and really just a traditional big who is not fun to watch, but is at times
That's not true. That's not true.
is at times a interesting big man who does
Never
the
forget,
thing. He does things
he hit
the
a
right
three
way.
with Sacramento, and he did the three-point goggles. Never forget that three-point moment.
That basically ended his career. Teams did
No.
not like the Kings' three-point goggles. But Tristan Thompson, mostly fun big man, but sometimes was also really not fun to watch. But is a polarizing big man.
You mentioned the word lob,
I did.
and that one,
He catch him here and there. Very occasionally.
yeah, he did. And you know what? It brings me to my next player that I want to talk about.
Okay.
I want everyone to close their eyes. And I want everyone to go back to those Lob City Clipper teams. Yeah, close your eyes.
Yeah.
And we're going to think about, there was a lob, and there was a center, and there was a player named Brandon Knight down in the post. And this center grabbed it and threw it down with the right hand so hard, it ended Brandon Knight's career. I'm talking about DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
DeAndre, I'm going to catch a lob, Jordan. NBA champion DeAndre Jordan has more rings than Chris Paul. And DeAndre Jordan, he could grab rebounds, and he was a three-point sniper. Because everyone remembers that three-pointer he hit in the beginning of that one, I think, Dallas Mavericks game.
Yeah.
Clippers versus Mavericks. And because I think Spencer Hawes was actually the power forward for the Clippers.
Yeah.
Another random name everyone has to remember.
Yeah.
But DeAndre Jordan hit a three-pointer. And so he was a versatile center. Catch lobs, he could shoot three-pointers. And another left-handed legend. DeAndre Jordan, NBA champion, machine.
Yeah, the biggest thing I remember about DeAndre Jordan's career is that free agency where he was going to sign that massive bag with the Mavs, and the Clippers reportedly held him hostage with Blake Griffin and Doc Rivers and Chris Paul. They said, "You're not going anywhere. You cannot sign anywhere else. Sign with the Clippers now." How DeAndre Jordan's free agency went. Was one of the funniest random NBA free agencies I can remember. But he was
I forgot.
he was a
He
monster.
set the Mavericks back like another 5 years in their process.
Yeah,
He
the
got no
Mavericks have
time.
never recovered. They've never found a good big man since they tried to get DeAndre Jordan. They've been starting Dwight Powell for years. But
Stanford legend.
yeah, but DeAndre Jordan, one of the best lob catchers of the decade. Just a really fun player alongside Chris Paul. Felt like the kind of perfect pick and roll partner for Chris Paul, and was another kind of double machine type guy. Could block some shots, and it's just that like typical 2K center, like that lob threat posterizer guy who you want on your team. But DeAndre Jordan, people don't talk about him as much when they think of Lob City. They think of Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. But DeAndre Jordan was legitimately part of that big three. And I believe he has an All-Star appearance. I think he does with them, at least one or two.
He's
And
in the NBA dunk contest,
yeah,
too.
yeah, he's just a fun career and a guy that everybody loved. He also came into like a press conference once as like a post game interview, right? And he made that really stupid face into the camera that went really viral for a long time. It was probably like a Blake Griffin interview, but DeAndre Jordan just gave a lot of good moments and was just a funny dude to watch.
Can we talk about his State Farm commercials? You
Sure.
know, it was like, meet the Hoopers,
Yeah, like
the
him and Kevin
All-Star
Love, Dame was there. Yeah.
family, with Dad. And he was the mom. Mom.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh my gosh, everyone needs to go search up
the Hoopers.
the Hoopers. And it had like Kevin Garnett,
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Love, Damian Lillard,
Yeah, probably
and
Chris Paul was there. He's always in State Farm stuff.
I feel like, yeah. Because he was like, you ain't got no rings. One of those commercials.
Yeah.
Because DeAndre Jordan was like complaining. He's like, we've been robbed. My rings are gone. Oh man, what a random flashback.
Yeah, DeAndre Jordan, good career, good memorable career. A lot of good
Memorable
moments
career.
for DeAndre Jordan.
He was in that State Farm commercial that had the ketchup and mustard bottle with Blake Griffin. What a great commercial.
Okay, I'll take us off of DeAndre Jordan before we get on a really long tangent because he's a funny guy. Um, I'll
No, we want these. The viewers want them.
We've been on DeAndre Jordan for like 5 minutes, I swear.
Good.
Okay, I'll take us into the my last big man undervalued guy that we're gonna talk about in big detail, unless you have another. But I'm gonna talk about Dwight Howard because I think Dwight Howard to me is one of the best centers ever. I think he's like top 5 to top 10, but is somewhere from like 5 to 7 probably in the best centers of all time. But I think people just don't view him that way, maybe because of the way he ended his career, the level of player he was at the end, more of a role guy. But 18 seasons in the league for Dwight. 8-time All-Star, 6 with Orlando, 1 with the Lakers, 1 with the Rockets, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. I believe that is one of the most. Rudy Gobert has 3 as well. But 5-time All-Defense, 8-time All-NBA, 5-time rebounding champ, was dominant on the boards, 2-time blocks champ. For his career, 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 blocks. His best season likely came in 2012. 21 points per game, 14.5 rebounds, and over 2 blocks. And if you look at the Magic leaderboards, they are owned by Dwight Howard. They belong to him. First in points, first in rebounds, first in blocks, and fourth in steals as a center. Dwight Howard is the best Magic player ever. I don't know if that's really a dispute or not. I feel like that's pretty clear.
Whoa.
Well, you're gonna talk about Shaq or
That is
Penny?
disputed.
Yeah, you're gonna talk about Shaq or Penny?
No. Cole Anthony.
Okay, yeah, Dwight Howard,
Greatest
best Magic player
of all
ever. But to me, Dwight just doesn't get appreciated for the player that he was. I don't know if that's because of his time with LA. His first run with the Lakers with Kobe was kind of rough, to say the least. They didn't really seem to get along very well. But went back with the Rockets and was a great sidekick kind of partner guy with James Harden. Then there was all those weird trades. I believe he spent a year on the Hornets, was traded to the Nets.
You're stealing my content.
Traded to the Nets and they cut him. Went to a bunch of different places. I won't detail them all. I'll let you detail them after.
Thank you.
But Dwight Howard, kind of a journeyman, but also one of the best centers of all time. One of the most dominant defensive centers of all time, and I just don't think he really gets talked about as like one of the best centers. But to me, I think it's pretty clear that he is.
Let's think about Dwight Howard's career.
Yep.
And we're gonna name all those teams that he played for, and all those teams.
Oh, it's
that he
like
absolutely
TNT.
dominated.
Who he played for?
Who he played? Welcome to the Herm Cet Show. In this week's episode, we are doing who did he play for? So we're not getting copyrighted.
Yeah,
Who
good.
did he
Add
play
the
for?
did. Yeah, that's right.
Let's think about those teams.
Mm.
The Orlando Magic.
Yep.
Played for the Houston Rockets.
Mm.
He played for the Charlotte Hornets.
Yes.
He played for the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
He's played for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Twice.
Twice. Did he play for any other teams?
Not that I remember. The Nets didn't last, so.
I don't remember. He didn't go to the Nets to die. And he does. Let's type in Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard. What teams did you play for? The
What?
76ers. The 76ers, everybody.
That's right. He had the braids.
The
then.
76ers. We knew we were missing one. Oh, and it says the Wizards. The Wizards.
Oh, I
The
remember that.
76ers
I
are-
remember when he went there, and I was like, the Wizards are so stacked. They had
That's what-
they had John Wall, Bradley Beal, Kelly Oubre, Otto Porter, and Dwight Howard. And I'm like, this
Howard.
team is ridiculous. One seed
Isn't
in the
that
East.
when
That did
the
not go well.
sussy allegations came out?
Yes.
It was a little sus,
Little sus.
one could say. But Dwight Howard, Superman, is in the building. Dwight, one of the worst free throw shooters of all time, but man, could he dunk the basketball?
Oh yeah.
And he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame for dunking basketballs and grabbing rebounds and blocking shots into the
He will.
third row.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Man of highlights with the blocks, with the dunks, even the rebounding stuff. Some of it was ridiculous because of how athletic he was with the wingspan. Was in the dunk contest, dunked on a 12-foot hoop. I remember. Wore the
Yeah.
cape. Called himself
Yes, wore the
Superman, and then Shaq got really
Yes.
mad and called him Superman. Really good back and forth
That's
between
Shaq.
between Shaq and Dwight Howard. Seemingly very much do not like each other. But Dwight, regardless, is one of the best centers in league history. But I'll give you some honorable mentions if you want to take some.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead. I'll let you go first.
Hassan the Beat. UConn legend.
Undervalued, that's who you're going with? One of the biggest busts of all time. You threw me a sheep to
You
beat.
wanted me to throw in Jahlil Okafor.
I love Okafor. He averaged like 18 and 10 his first year.
See?
I'll give you Boogie.
Undervalued.
We'll talk about Boogie a little deeper.
That's so not fun.
Yeah, but no, Boogie is fun.
Hassan the Beat is so much more fun.
No, Boogie is the epitome of fun. The technical monster. They should have called him
The
Mr.
third
Tech.
Splash Brother. Random moment in the Instagram video when he said, "I'm the third Splash Brother," and then break that three.
Yeah, 4-time All-Star though. 3 with Sacramento, 1 with New Orleans. It was just a really good player. 2-time All-NBA. His best season, 27 points, 11.5 rebounds, 1.5 steals, 1.5 blocks. He did pretty much everything on the floor. It felt like it was 1.5 techs per game too with the way he was playing. DeMarcus Cousins.
We like that though. We like
He was kind of must-see TV, and it feels like people look back and say they try to say he wasn't as good as people are trying to remember. But I really liked Boogie. Was gonna be one of the better players in the league. It felt like before he tore his ACL and then his Achilles in kind of back-to-back years. That kind of took
Sounds
him
like
out.
a him problem.
I remember he signed with the Warriors though, and people said that this was the best lineup ever assembled. They had an all-star at every position. People were ready to crown the Warriors champions for the next 10 years when Boogie Cousins signed with them. And he was
Dunked over
one of
Kyle
my
Kuzma on the Warriors.
yeah, one of my favorite players of the 2010s. I'm sure you have a bunch more obscure centers you want to talk
No,
about.
I want to talk about Boogie Cousins for one more second.
Okay,
Does
good.
everyone remember the Boogie Cousins interview when he was with the Kings? He dropped like 52 points,
Mhm.
and then Zaza Pachulia was beating him in All-Star votes, and he was like, "It's getting ridiculous. It's truly getting ridiculous."
I remember
That's one of my
Brittany
favorite.
Griner said she could beat DeMarcus Cousins one-on-one, which sparked one of the biggest internet memes of all time because everyone clowned on Brittany Griner for not knowing what she was talking about.
We love it.
DeMarcus Cousins would have destroyed her one-on-one very easily. If they played to 100, it would be 100-0. That's how easily DeMarcus Cousins would
I
beat
think Brittany
Griner.
would have hit like one of those sky hooks, though. I'm not gonna lie. I think
Yeah,
you
she
know,
scores like
if
1
it
or
was,
2 points.
if I had to face DeMarcus Cousins, like I'd score 1 out of 100. If it was a game to 100, I think I'd score 1.
Yeah, you're hoping
I'm
he
just
just
like-
like spaces you enough at 3.
No, I
You're
would
like, I'm gonna pull
sprint
one.
back, and I would just take a nasty fadeaway, and one of them has to go in out of 100 shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One of them has to go in.
Yeah, I mean, but that's you. Brittany Griner probably not hitting a fadeaway like
Yeah,
that.
probably,
you know?
probably. She's not a
Yeah.
shooter like me. She's not a shooter.
She's
Oh.
probably too high at the time. You know, something about drugs to Russia or something.
I see we're sober around here, so
Yeah,
we're good.
yeah.
We're good. All right.
I know you got more centers that you probably want to talk about. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Mitch McGary, OKC Thunder legend.
I remember his Wisconsin teammate, Frank Kaminsky.
Mitch didn't play for Wisconsin. He played for Michigan.
Oh, who was that other Wisconsin dude then? It wasn't Decker, right? There was like Decker played with him, but there was another good
who
big
was
man
that
with
dude?
him. I was thinking it was Mitch. Now
Who was the big man?
I'm all thrown
We
off.
gotta search. Now we gotta search it up. Hold on.
I don't remember
What
when
year was
Frank
that?
played there.
What year was that? Was 2012. 2012
I just remember that Wisconsin team being really
basketball roster. Timeout. That'd have been 2012, right?
sick. There's no way. 2012 is way too old.
Yeah, Frank Kaminsky, Sam Decker. It was Ben Brust.
No,
Jared
that wasn't it.
Bergen. 2012, 2013 had to have been.
Was it Decker? I thought there was someone else that was good. It must have been Decker.
Well, I mean, Decker was, I think, the only other one to play.
Decker wasn't bad.
Decker was
But
great.
Mitch was in college around the same time, I feel like, if we're being fair.
Yeah,
Maybe a
he
little
was
after.
teammates with Trey Burke.
Oh, fun Michigan team.
The only two players for that Wisconsin team ever played in the NBA, actually.
Wow.
Man, that's crazy.
Okay, we're all thrown off. Different good college
Well,
white guys.
All right, throwing in names. Does everyone remember Noah Vonleh?
Yeah.
Noah Vonleh.
Everyone remember NBA legend Kendrick Perkins. Cavs legend Kendrick Perkins.
Cavs legend. Yes.
Nerlens Noel was kind of sick for a year or two.
Noel. He had that flat top before Amon did.
Yeah, he did. He really revolutionized it. Nerlens Noel, the first pick of the process, by the way. Really, the
awful.
beginner of the process, Nerlens Noel.
And then he went to Dallas.
Yeah, he was
Goes
on
from
New
Oakland to
York for a little
Dallas.
bit, I feel like, too. Some time in Detroit. Nerlens Noel was all over the place.
I'm trying to think. Let's think of some other good names here.
Some
We've just
other
gone off
fun,
script. I mean,
fun
this is-
centers over time.
This is all. It's okay. Nobody. I don't know if anyone's. It's out of our million subscribers. I don't know.
Yeah, we're pretty deep into the video. We can talk about whatever we want, probably. You know?
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think here. Random NBA centers.
I know centers is
tough.
kind of out of my league. You know.
Centers is really no. That's a tough one to think about. Oh,
We could go deep in the Zaza sauce.
No. Oh, Zaza Pachulia. No, I have a name.
Mm.
No. What's his name? Jeremy Evans, Utah Jazz. He has
Jeremy
one of the
Evans.
greatest dunks of all time in the preseason.
Yeah.
He had that big snatch block, and then he threw down like that cuff dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeremy Evans.
Fun player.
Ooh, search up how many games Grant Jarrett played. Can you search up how many games Grant Jarrett played?
Yeah, I can figure that
Search
out.
that up for me right now.
I gotta figure it
How
out
many-
on my phone.
Grant Jarrett. I think he went to Clemson, if I'm not mistaken.
Grant Jarrett? How recent
And
is
we're gonna
this
do
guy?
it. We're gonna do it an episode.
Of
where-
random NBA players.
No. I can name.
The shortest careers in NBA history.
No, do you want to know one of my talents that I do on the bus ride to our games for like
Sure,
baseball?
yeah.
They pick 2010's NBA drafts,
Hmm.
and I tell you what colleges each player went to. I swear.
There you go. Grant
Like, you
Jarrett,
could throw-
8 games. Career 8 games.
8 games? No, I knew he was low.
5 with the
Did he go to-
Thunder and 3 with the Jazz.
Did he go to Clemson? Or
Yeah, I'll
where
look.
did where did he go? I don't wanna,
It says he went to
expose myself.
Arizona.
Arizona. Yeah, he was in Arizona. Because Derek Favors went to Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
And I think was it Trevor Booker who went to Clemson?
Could have been.
Trevor Booker.
Hunter
went to Clemson?
Tyson went to Clemson, I can tell you that.
Oh, Hunter
Because
Tyson.
it just happened.
Yeah, see, we're trying to think of Clemson basketball players. I think Trevor Booker is one of the only real names.
I was going to say Udoka Azubuike, but I feel like he's too recent. That doesn't count. It's an unfair name.
I'll give you that one. But I'm thinking of you pull up the 2016 NBA draft. I'm naming names.
Why? Just because
Because
you
that's
got
just
that
a
obscure
random,
knowledge.
No, I get quizzed. I swear. I get quizzed. Even my dad quizzes me sometimes. I'll just sit down with our NBA draft.
Yeah.
And they'll
I
be
do like to do those. I like to fill out each player from
And they'll be
1 to
Andrew
60.
Nicholson, St. Bonaventure.
Well, I think we're too deep in the sauce here. I feel
Alfred
like
Payton, Louisiana
we've,
Lafayette.
we've lost control of the direction of this episode. Uh, but unless you have any
It's okay.
last center
He's
to throw
watching.
up, because I do not, we can wrap it here. Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, thank you guys for watching this undervalued centers video featuring Jeremy Evans and other guys, including Mitch McGarry, but none of the headliners I'm going to mention. So thank you guys for watching.
Mitch McGarry thumbnail.
Mitch McGarry in the thumbnail. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. That's going to be it for us this week. On the road to 1 million. So thanks for watching.
Road to 1 million.
Yeah, have a good rest of your day.
990,000 away.
Peace.